Hey everyone, I'm Darius,
And I'm Desiree.
and we're here today from Young Black and Professional to talk about a new topic that we have.
And that topic is grad school or real life. So I think a lot of people, when you graduate from undergrad, you're like, dang, the real world calling, but I kind of want to just go ahead and go back to school. I know I was a career student for a little while. However, I did have full-time jobs while I was still working. I was still a student, but I think that this is definitely a topic that a lot of people face, and they're not sure whether they should just go ahead and start applying for jobs and get in the field and get that experience, and then maybe later on down the line go to grad school, or should they just go ahead and bite the bullet and jump straight into grad school. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and I'll let you take it away, Darius.
All right, so I think the biggest answer to this question is, what are your dreams and what are your goals? And when you ask yourself that question, you should also look at how do I get to that point? How do I get to obtaining my dreams and my goals? And there's some people that may only need a bachelor's degree and they'll be just fine. And there's some people that, and it all depends on what you want to do.
Your major.
Yeah, your major and your career field. I can remember I have a classmate and a friend who he wanted to get his bachelor's degree in psychology. And the first day of class, that instructor told the entire class, like, hey, I'm glad you all are interested in being in this field, but I do want you to note that the only way you can actually make money to survive in this field is if you get a master's degree. So, I mean, they let them know up front. So apparently, for him, once everybody graduates, like, if he wants to make money or the amount of money that he expects to make, he should know, or he does know off top, like, once I graduate with my bachelor's degree, I got to go to grad school. Although everyone else is going to be maybe going off and, hey, I got my bachelor's, I'm ready to work, and I want to earn money and buy a house and all this other stuff. He's going to have to kind of sit back and wait a little bit, but don't let it discourage you if you're one of those people, because all that stuff, it'll come.
I think that that's definitely a good point. You got to understand, like, if you're going into your field, you need to know, is this a field that I can graduate with my bachelor's degree and start making buku money? Or is it one that I got to go to grad school, or I got to get a PhD to really do what I want to do? So understanding that first is key. Next thing is just kind of a mental thing. Don't compare yourself with other people. So like Darius has said, some degrees require you to go get a master's degree. Some don't. Like if you're thinking about a bachelor's degree in engineering, you come out engineering, you could come out making six figures, or close to it. But however, you get a bachelor's degree in psychology, you're probably not gonna come out making six figures. There's a very slim chance that you will, unless you know something I don't know. But yeah, so just kind of understanding that everybody's at different places in their life. And we live in the age of social media, so everybody's broadcasting all the accomplishments on social media. Nobody is really broadcasting as much their setbacks and how they don't apply for 500 jobs, but they got that one call back from that one job, but they got that one job, but all you see is they got that one job. You don't see the 500 rejections that they got. So, just don't compare that. And then thinking about grad school, a lot of people are going to be like, no, don't go to grad school, it's a waste of time. Or, some people will be like, yeah, you should. But I think it's definitely up to you. And some of the tips that we're going to give you hopefully should, help you out a lot.
Yeah, so one of those tips are research your dream job and the requirements to obtain that job. I know in my field, there's a lot of jobs out there that you can apply for. And a lot of people say it's all about who you know. If you don't want to completely lean on that person that you know to get this job that you're underqualified for, you should just take a look at it and say, all right, well, I want to go ahead and get my master's degree. Mm-hmm. A lot of jobs in our field, they have like their basic requirement is a bachelor's degree, but on a lot of those jobs it says preferred master's degree. So with seeing that, it let me know that hey, if I want to be able to be marketable and be able to put my name in the hat for a lot of jobs that are coming open, the best thing for me to do is to not go out and get the first job that wants to hire me, but to stay back and get my master's degree and just continue to get more experience while working at an internship. So,
yeah, so I think that, it's important to know, and a lot of entry-level jobs now in certain areas are requiring a master's degree. It's crazy, but, like I've heard people say a bachelor's degree is becoming equivalent to a high school diploma now. Like, everybody's getting them, so you have to set yourself apart some way, and I think that one of the big things is you can set yourself apart with a master's degree, a PhD, whatever, but also that experience that you get. So there's a lot of pros and cons to doing both, jumping into a career and going to grad school. But the next thing you want to think about is student loans. So a lot of us got loans. We owe money to Sally Mae, and it's just, it's a lot. So you got to think about, do I want to get more student debt? Because you got to pay that off. Like, I heard a lot of people say, oh, I'm not going to pay my student debt. Then their credit all messed up and they can't get the car they want, the house they want, yada, yada, yada. Don't let that be you. Like, think about how you're going to smartly pay off your student loans. And, don't just be like, oh, I ain't never paying this off. Don't have that attitude. But think about, do you want to incur more debt? And is this grad school funded? Like, are they going to fund you to go to school? Now, that's different. If they say, oh, we're fully funding you 100% and we're going to pay for housing, we're going to give you a stipend, then it's something to consider. But, if you have a lot of student debt already and you have no prospects for scholarships, and, you may want to think about how can you simultaneously pay off this student debt and go to grad school, or pay some off your student debt and then go to grad school first. So just some options.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of her, I was blessed enough to be able to work at a grad assistantship, and they paid for some of my college. So when it was offered to me, I had to think and really sit down, like, one, I need the bachelor's degree. Two, they're going to pay probably more than half of that master's degree. So I'm going to get it at a discounted rate, which is going to pay off for me once I have it for the rest of my life. And then I was fighting that with, or I could just go out and get a regular job and bring in 35, 40,000 as an entry level position, just starting off, and then take my chances. So I'm a guy, I didn't want to take my chances. I wanted to make sure that once I graduated, I could apply for just about any job that I wanted, and the only battle that I would have to fight is the lack of experience. So that was what I did.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other ways, to pay for college, to pay for grad school. Like, I know when I was in grad school, I worked for the State Department of Health, and they had a program where they paid for 6 credit hours every semester. So, I mean, look at your jobs that you have currently. Like, I mean, some people may be like, oh, should I leave my job and go to school? Or, talk with your boss and see if they're going to be flexible. Some people will not be flexible, even if they have programs in place to help you pay for college. But some people will, and it's worth the conversation, especially if you're going to get 6 credit hours for free. And then, they have the public service loan forgiveness program where you work in a public service profession for 10 years. You pay a certain amount each month for 10 years, and then they wipe away your student debt. Supposedly it's how it's worked, but some people don't get it even though they qualify or whatever. But think about that. Think about all the other ways that you can get that student loan debt paid off, because that's important. Like, it's really important. And honestly, my current job I got now, I work for the federal government, and they asked about my student loans before I could get the job. Like, that was one of the things. They're like, okay, we want to hire you. One of the things they had to do is check and see if I was in default on my student loans. So I think that they were explaining to me that if I am in default, I gotta write to them and show them how I plan on paying off my student loans, how I plan on paying money towards it. So it can affect your future jobs if you don't pay your student loans. So think about that. Consider it. It's a big deal. And I think the last thing, or not even the last thing, but you know, what will you gain from your, what will you gain that from your current position that or what would you gain from your job now that you would not gain by going to grad school? So if you're in a job now, or you're about to apply for a job you're qualified for, and you think you're gonna get it, that experience means a lot. Like, that experience is invaluable, and honestly, that's what sets you aside from somebody with a master's degree, that experience. Because people, like, honestly, jobs, like, their education is great, but they don't want someone who they have to coach about the real world and working in the real world, because sometimes skills do not transfer like they should when you're working a job versus, in school. And that's something to consider. That experience is very important.
Yeah, I think it depends on the field. I mean, you have to be able to gauge it and make the decision on your own. I know it's in athletics. It's if you want to get into college athletics, it's a little bit harder. If you don't take that internship and actually work and develop those, relationships with the people in that field and working in the college space. But if you wanted to go to a high school and work high school, I think it would be very wise to get your master's degree. But there's ways you can do it online. Mm-hmm. And I know right now there's a lot of controversy about online platforms as far as education. But I've done my master's degree and my PhD online, and I can tell you that what it was, even when I was working on my master's, it's completely different than what it is right now. Like, the software has enhanced, things have changed to where you can actually hold a classroom lecture online and provide the slides and everything, and you can take notes while you're looking at those slides in the program. And not only that, but once you're done with the class gets recorded and is sent to you. So don't let online courses, don't let it intimidate you or think that you're not an online student learner or whatnot, because it's very close to being in the classroom environment right now.
Yeah. So I would say, grad school or real life, really the decision is up to what you want out of your career and where you want to go. I mean, some jobs, like I said, will pay for you to get your master's degree. And sometimes they require that for you to move up and get a leadership role. However, some jobs may not. If you want to think about your goals and your things that you want to reach. Think about, think about student loans. Think about all of these things. Think about what's going to help you move further in your career. What do you want to do? Do you want to switch careers at some point? Because if you're working in the health field and you're like, oh, I want to go get my master's of public health, but you're just like, but you're not even sure if you want to stay in the health field, what's the point of you going to grad school if you're not even sure you want to stay in there?
Kind of spinning your wheels on that one.
Yeah, so don't just dive into something because you're not sure. I mean, sometimes it can work out beautifully, but sometimes it doesn't, and you end up wasting your money and your time. I know a lot of people who have started like a grad program and they dropped out and didn't finish it. So they wasted a whole lot of money to decide ultimately that's not what they want to do. But definitely research those jobs, understand, just kind of what that entails. Grad school, real life, grad school, or your career. I mean, it's a lot of different decisions, but ultimately you're the one making that decision, and you're the one that has to go through with it. So you want to be really sure that this is what you want to do, and this is going to help you reach your goals. So if you don't have a clear understanding of what your dreams and your goals are, find that first and then go forward. So anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. We appreciate you all tuning in. We look forward to seeing you all again. You want to touch on the cheat sheet?
Yeah, so we got this career cheat sheet. It is a free download. All you gotta do is put in your email address and your name, and we send you the cheat sheet immediately, and you get that. You can download it. It gives you a lot of tips on how to network, how to change your resume, your cover letter, different things that you can be doing to prepare yourself for a job and for your professional career. So we want you guys to take that, you know, it's our gift to you. Take it, use it, share it. Please share it with anybody that you think it may help. And we're always open to answering questions. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube. I'm gonna put all of them down here on this video. So follow us, share this video, and let us know if you want to hear some different topics about a lot of things, because we been through a lot of different stuff, and you know, we work with a lot of different students, people who recent college grads, and our goal is to help you succeed in life, because you know, we had people that helped us along the way, so we want to be that person that helps you guys along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.